Hello, welcome back. Let me shut that blind a little bit because it's probably going to be a little distracting. I don't usually have that much problem with it now. Since I have flipped it horizontal, you can see more of my, I didn't realize that. You can see more of my mess behind me. But we'll give this a try. And if I'm not liking it or I feel like you can't see the project well, then I'm probably going to flip it back. What is that? So right now we're horizontal. Yeah, vertical. So what do you think? Do you guys like it this way or would you prefer it to be upright? Because then I feel like you can see like what I'm working on my desk better. Right now I just feel like you see everything behind me, so I'm not sure. But hello, welcome. I'm so excited to be able to get up here and do some crafting. I haven't done anything since Saturday, really. No crafting since Saturday. Unless you consider, well, decorating is kind of creative, but I haven't been able to do anything up here in my craft room. So I'm excited to get up here and do this project with you. And I'm just wondering, did you guess which one we're gonna do today? You can see a little bit of the outline, I think, of the object that I chose to do. So I wonder who was right. I'm looking at this and I'm really thinking I might need to flip it. So they're saying it's a good idea to, oh look, you can even see my ring light. You can see so much more of my junk that you don't care about with the being wider like this. But they're saying it's better to have it horizontal. I don't know why I'm having trouble with that word. Horizontal for Facebook, but I feel like we've made out pretty good with it the other way. I'm just wondering if you're going to be able to see the things I'm working on, because I tend to put it where you can see it. And I'm just thinking that maybe we should flip it. What do you guys think? I'd love to hear your opinion. Whether you like it this way or you think I should put it back the other way, I can just go off and come right back on, put it the other way where you can see more of my project that I'm working on. But, thanks. Thanks, Lisa. Hope you're having a good afternoon. It is hot here, y'all. I am ready for it to just decide. So you know that I'm a summer girl, but once it starts switching over to being cooler and I get it in my mind that I'm ready to be cooler, I want it to be cooler. I don't like Indian summers. So it's kind of irritating to me when I go out this time of year. Once now I'm like, okay, I'm in the cooler mode and I sweat. So I went out to water the plants that I put in on Sunday and I was sweating. I was like, no. So I don't know if you feel that way too, but yes, work. I know you are, girl. Thanks for joining me, though. I appreciate it. So I had some votes, and I have to admit that this one has been on my heart for a while, so it wasn't hard to decide to do the truck. So I think you're really going to enjoy this project today, and it might take us a little while because could not decide between doing the teal or the purple, the dark purple. So I went ahead and prepared both sides because of this type of cutout that we have. It's double-sided. And as you can see, it's that really nice, thick wood. It's already kind of whitewashed. You can see a little bit of the grain. So it's a really, really quality piece. I went ahead and prepared both sides. And you might be saying, what did you do to prepare? What do you mean you prepared it? Well, it's already, looks like it's ready to go, right? But because it is made of wood, we do need to, teal, yes. I have to have a teal because my downstairs is mostly teal. But the purple, I have touches of purple all over for the fall. So I feel like the other side's going to be purple. I'll just get another one for Christmas. And, well, I may use the teal for Christmas as well, because I do a lot of teal in my decorating for Christmas. But I'll just get another one for Christmas and do it all Christmassy if I need to. But so we have to, since this is a wood surface, we have to prepare it. And to prepare it, we use surface wax. And we do sell this in my online store. If you have surface wax handy, you may already have something on hand. They sell it in a lot of craft stores. You're welcome to use it, but you do want to put a little thin layer of surface wax on any wood projects that you do. And the main reason we do that is obviously wood is porous and it's not completely flat. And so we want to, number one, protect our wood surface so that when we put on our chalk doesn't bleed. Secondly, we're going to do it so that it protects our transfer now, so that when we go to pull our transfer off, that it won't pull on it and maybe distort it. And then that just makes, you know, it kind of evens out the surface so that our transfer will lay down nicely and smoothly and it won't bleed beneath it. So we're going to try to do it with the camera situated this way, and I'm going to try not to be distracted by the mess behind me. And if I hear you guys say, hey, we like it the other way that you usually have the camera better, then my next live I'm going to flip it. Anyway. Yes, so somebody else just pointed out to me that also when you're chalking something, if you're doing more than one layer, it's nice to have your surface wax to put on the top layer. So if I put one color of chalk down and then I want to layer something over top of it, which we actually are going to be layering today, then I need to have a little bit of surface wax over it just to kind of protect the first layer that's down there and not pull it back up with the transfer when I go to put it back on it. So this is the beauty that we are going to be working on. I'm going to set that paper aside. I have that in case anybody had any questions. So this is called our vintage truck cutout, and it says its approximate size is 12 by 5 and something, 5 1/4. I'm sure you don't need to know that, but it's pretty decent size. You can see it placed in front of me, how much room it takes up. It's pretty decent size. And we have a coordinating transfer, of course, because I couldn't just do this. I mean, maybe I could. I don't think I could do a very good job free-handed, but I don't have to. I can make it perfect. So this is the coordinating transfer that goes with it. This is a C-size transfer. You can see, again, that's pretty big. Our C-size transfers usually have either a really big image on it. I'm trying to think if my the one I did for you guys, the pumpkin spice, might have been a C. But this one actually has, so we have 4 actual transfers on here, 2 sets. And the reason we have 2 sets is because it's a 2-sided cutout. So we have our truck one facing this way, and then we have our truck facing this way. So that's why we have the facing the 2 different directions. And then it is a layered transfer, as you can see. So we'll put our base layer down of our color, and then this is like a masking, almost masks certain areas of the truck that we don't want to go back over, and then we'll use this to go over it with that second layer. So that is the project we're going to be doing today. Now, also to go along with this comes by itself, 2-sided. You can do both sides, and it sets perfectly fine on a surface without anything on it. However, we do offer these lovely little stands. It's just a wood block. I'm not sure how big. I didn't. Let's see if it says. This is. Oh goodness. Let's see if I can find it. I don't see it. I don't see the dimensions, but it doesn't look very big. I'm thinking it's maybe 2 inches deep, and then this is like 4, so it's pretty big. And you can, ta-da, set your lovely truck on top of it. And it doesn't have to be just a plain block. You could paint these as well. You could paint them. You don't have to keep them white. If you don't want the bottom color to be this white, and then putting your words, we're going to put words on it. So that's what I was getting to. So there's another transfer that coordinates with it. It coordinates with this and the little add-on packs. So this comes by itself, but then these, you get 2 of these. You get 2 of these and 2 of these, different shapes. that come in the pack, in a pack. And then this is the coordinating transfer that goes along with it. So I, of course, am going to use Welcome Autumn on one of the sides that I've already prepared, again, with the surface wax. But if you didn't want it to be white with just the words Welcome Autumn on it, you could paint this or stain it or distress it or do whatever else, distress it more, whatever you wanted to do to it. But so there you have 4 sides, right? You have 4 sides, 4 sets of words. There's actually an additional one that you can purchase as well that has some related theme. But 4 sides, and then you have 2 of these. You get 2 different sizes. This one, I didn't leave the other one out. This one is shaped like that, and it is going to work for our pumpkins. And you do layer your pumpkins as well. So you have the base layer, and then you have like a accent layer. And then this, if you flip it around, it works also for the watermelon, right? And then the other one that I have, the other one that came in the set with this, with these, works for hearts and Christmas trees. So you're all set for all the seasons, right? Or for 4 seasons anyway, 4 different holidays and celebrations. So this is already prepared too. I went ahead and prepared this. So everything has been prepared. And the reason I do that is they do suggest, if you're going to use the surface wax, that you do about 15 to 30 minutes prior to you working on your project so that it has a chance to really kind of get in there. And then once you've done that, you just kind of buff it out. You know, this is my handy dandy cloth that I use for my wax. It's just a cheap microfiber cloth I had on hand. And then I'm just kind of buffing it just to make sure that I don't have any chunks anywhere that I missed. And kind of smoothing it into the surface. Okay. Just making sure. And I'm trying to feel, because I just did one side of this one. I'll be able to tell once I go to place my pumpkins on it, because it only goes, it works a certain way. So that's all done and they're all prepped. Now, I've told you guys this before. I always, let's see, I always label the front of my, I'm looking for the picture. I want to make sure that I checked it out. I did look at it. Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to think of my next color we're going to use. So I'm done with the surface wax. I'm going to put that up, and I pulled out some colors, and it was my lucky day because I had ordered a package from the company. I had a couple gifts that I'm getting ready to make, and I wanted to be prepared for some, a workshop, and I got in a new chalk paste today. I got the papaya in. I only had the little single packets before, but I got the papaya in, so that's going to come in perfectly for my pumpkins. And of course, you know, if you've been following me, you know I love my shimmer. So my shimmer is going to be, using that with the pumpkins. And then we decided teal for one side and purple. This is actually Regal, which I'm not sure is even still available, but I'm sure we have something lovely anyway. That would be a very lovely purple that would still look nice if you wanted to do a purple color. Just message me or ask me, and I'll look into it for you. So we need a coordinating color to go with it, and I hadn't really thought about that yet, but how about, since it's an old pickup truck, right? That's what we're assuming. It's an old pickup truck. It's an old farm truck. Why don't we use our shimmer silver to go as the layering colors? I think that'll look cool. And I think I can even use that with the purple. I do have my shimmer plum that probably, but I don't know how well it would show up. So I think we'll just do the kind of a coordinating color instead of an actual same color. Okay. So I have not cut my transfers out. I wanted you to see them on the big page, to see how many, that they come in for and how big they are and what you get. I have not cut them out, but I have marked them. I always mark the front and the back so that I can put them back together. So let's go ahead and get those prepared. And you'll notice there's a little line here. That's just the silkscreen line. It's just kind of a guide for you to be able to, I'm probably going to have to put my reading glasses on. A guide for you to be able to cut, your transfers if they're meant to be cut. You can still cut them even if they're not meant to be cut. Some people do that. I have done that on occasion. I'll tell you, it's a little, you just be careful. You make sure you leave plenty of room for your transfer to adhere, so that when you go to put it on your surface, it has plenty of the material, and the other side, of course, is sticky, right? So let's go ahead and cut it. And I did label it front and back. Obviously, I should be able to look at it and tell which bottom goes with which top because of the direction, but I just didn't want to take any chances, so I labeled the front and back of both of them. And these layering transfers also have little, I forget what they're called, these little marks that kind of help you with lining up alignment, so that when you go to line it up, you'll be able to see exactly where you were supposed to be putting it. So yeah. All right, so that's cut out. I'm just going to do that to start. And I think I'll just put this guy down. I could have cut these apart prior to coming on, but I really wanted you guys to see them in their entirety. And I only have the one set. Now, remember, our transfers are silkscreen, and they are reusable a dozen or more times depending on how well you take care of them. I actually have a plan. I'm not 100% sure it's going to work, but I had a plan to use this pickup truck on my grandson, a t-shirt for him. But I'm looking at the t-shirt, and I'm wondering if it's even going to be big enough, because I wanted to make him a little fall t-shirt. But I'm not even sure it's going to be big enough, so I might not be able to do it. I was hoping to put a little pickup truck on there. Okay, so I'm going to cut out, on this, I'm only going to cut out the pumpkins. And I'm going to say, obviously, I don't need watermelons, and I'll do Christmas at Christmas time. The Christmas tree, I love that. I fell in love with the pickup truck decorating theme a couple years ago, probably about 3 or 4 years ago. And I just, whenever I see anything, I want to grab it. And I haven't bought anything this year. I haven't bought any new decorations because I don't need any. I don't really need any, and I'm actually weeding out some older ones. And now that I get to create my own, that makes it even more fun, because I can do them exactly the color that I want them. I'm going to set this transfer aside because I don't need that part anymore. But I can do it exactly the color I want to go with my color scheme. Because not everybody does traditional. The traditional bright orange and the bright colors, you know, the dark orange, the dark, I guess I say bright orange, it's really dark orange, or the dark reds and greens. You know, everybody likes different. Not everybody does it traditional. And these are awesome, you guys. These are our transfer trimmers, and they're like specially coated just to work really well with the silk screens, and they're actually just a little bit longer than normal scissors. So I don't use these for anything else. Well, that's not true. I do sometimes poke a hole in the plastic to open the obviously this comes in plastic and the other items come in plastic, but for most, that's really the only other thing I use it for. I save it exactly for cutting my transfers, because I don't want to mess them up for that. So we'll set this aside, because obviously I'm going to do that after I've done the truck. And I do actually even have my one of my other favorite tools plugged in, my little air dryer, because where we're layering, I'm going to want to try to speed the process up a little bit. So I'm definitely going to be using my air dryer. I've got that all plugged in and ready. Don't need my glue gun. So, all right. Now, let's just make sure I've chosen the right side. Yeah, we do. Okay. So, remember, we're working on wood, and this is a brand new transfer. So we are going to make sure we fuzz our transfer. And remember, fuzzing is just exactly like it sounds. Our transfers are sticky. They adhere to this backer sheet that I'm going to put it back on, since I can reuse it after I've washed it when I'm done with my projects. I'll take it to my sink, wash it in the sink with cold water. And it's kind of like the grocery store bags, you know, the produce bags. Sometimes you just don't get it that first time. But I'm going to save my backer sheet. You see how that side's shiny? That's the sticky side. I'll go back on that shiny side. That's why I've marked the back. so that I knew where to put it. And I'm just going to set that aside and save it until after I've washed my transfer and dry it. Okay. We may only do the one truck, and then I might just do a video of the other side, because I have a feeling it's going to take me a little bit longer. This is a layering project, so it's going to take just a little bit longer. And if you're watching this for the first time, I would love it if you would hit the heart button. And if you know of anybody else that would be interested in seeing these kind of fun projects, especially this one, that loves trucks as much as I do, if you want to just tag them or sprinkle it, tell them about it, that would be great. I would love it. I'd love to know where you're watching from. Actually, I need to do that a few more times, I think. We recommend with the brand new ones usually about 5 times. You know, it depends on the surface. If it's a really sticky surface like glass, metal, plastic, it really, really sticks. So you might need to do it a little bit more than that. But in general, 3 to 5 times. Like I said, I've waxed this wood, so it's going to make it no problem for me to take it off. And I'm going to try to flip this project upside down. And I'm looking right now and I'm trying to tell whether or not you guys can see it. That's the whole thing. Because I like to be able to put it upside down and make it so that you can see it while I'm working on it. And I'm just not sure that I am. So we may stop the live and flip it around. Because I can't flip it in the middle of it. It won't let me. So I fuzzed my transfer. I just put a little bit of fuzz on the back of it so it's not quite so sticky. And now I'm just going to put on my reading glasses so that I can make sure I'm doing this right. And obviously it's going to hang over us because it's a cutout, right? So I'm just going to make sure that I have this lined up so that I can get my whole image, the image you can see through there, right? Their silkscreen area, that's where our paste is going to go through. And when I say paste, I mean our wet chalk. That's what it is, wet chalk. That the paste is going to be able to go through the silkscreen onto my surface. So I'm just going to make sure I have it lined up. And I have, like I said, this is my first time doing the truck. I knew I wanted one as soon as I saw it. And I didn't get it right away because I was like, oh, I don't know what I'll use it for. And I didn't even think about it for summer. I had so many projects for summer I just wanted to get done. I didn't even think about the truck. I've seen really, really cute ones for 4th of July. Next year we'll be doing a 4th of July one, I can promise you. I can promise you that. We will definitely do a patriotic truck. Because how much more patriotic can you get than a pickup truck, right? Than having an old pickup truck. All right. I think that's down a little far. And you can see through the silkscreen. I'm looking right now and I can see through the silkscreen and then I'm feeling like how much. So don't be worried that you're not going to be able to line it up. It's not going to be difficult. You can see through it. You can kind of feel where the edges are, so I can make sure that I don't have anything. I can definitely see I don't have anything hanging off. I just don't want it to be. Here, I'm going to flip it around for a minute, guys, so I can look at it. Sometimes I actually line things up better upside down, but I think this case I'm going to make sure I'm got the tires even. I hope you're having a good Tuesday. I don't know why I'm struggling on the fact that it's Tuesday. Maybe it feels later in the week already to me. Let's move it back a little bit more. This is probably going to be the most time-consuming part of the whole project. Is lining it up. And you know what? If it's not 100% perfect, it's okay, guys. It's not meant to be. Everything isn't meant to be perfect. This is your project. You're doing it. The fact you're doing it and you're making it customized to you is going to make it perfect and fabulous. Okay. And they are labeled A1 and A2, so you know which part you're going to put down first. So the main part of our truck, all I'm doing right now is smoothing it, guys. Making sure my transfer is stuck well to my surface so that I don't have any air bubbles and no place for the chalk to go under. But, so obviously the main color of our pickup truck is going to be the teal, right? We're going to do the teal. which is very close to this color. Okay, so I have it all lined up. And like I said, you know it's going to hang off the back. It's fine. Just make sure when you're looking at it that you don't have any anything stuck under your silk screen. Occasionally, like you can see that big old piece of fuzz there. Sometimes something might go over into your silk screen area, and then it's just going to make it so that your paste won't go through it and you'll have to touch it up. Or leave it the way it is, whichever way you want. And then I, a lot of times, just will take a squeegee. These are our squeegees. This is what we use to apply our product. Our paste, our chalk paste, our wet chalk, or our ink. They're just squeegees. It just makes it easy. They're rubber, they're reusable. This is a small size, actually. This is a mini. And then I have a small one that I've cut in half. And then I have some detail tools. I know I've shown you guys that before. I don't know if I'm going to need any of the detail tools today or not. I may use, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to need one today. May not. But they're lovely. They are a wonderful thing to have on hand. Okay. I think they're great. So I am going to, I'm trying to decide right now if I should do the tires in a different color. Generally, we do the truck all in one color, all of it in teal. So I'm not sure if I want to do the truck. I'm going to look at an example real quick, guys, because I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe I will. Okay, what we're going to do, this is what we're going to do. This is what they've done, and this is what I'm going to do, I think. I'm going to do this first layer in the, I do have Storm also. I could use Storm instead of Shimmer. The Storm is a nice accent to the gray. Oh, I can't help it. I got to use the Shimmer. Okay, so we're going to actually do the Shimmer on this first. That way our tires are going to be dark as well. And then this will be the body of the truck. We'll do that in our teal. Okay? Sorry. Sorry for the confusion. Sorry for the confusion. And I'm going to use, I always have a baby wipe or a wet paper towel handy just for my hands. I can feel like the surface wax on it, so I'm wiping that off. But I've used all these recently, except for the papaya when I go to do the papaya. I used them all recently, so I don't need to stir them. And this is our Creamy Dreamy chalk, wet chalk, Creamy Dreamy formula. Let's see, always have a hard time. There you go. See the shimmer? And I'm actually just going to pull it right out of my jar and apply it. So everything's ready to go. We're all ready. Can you see it okay, guys? Let me see. Maybe I could also, in the meantime, since I'm not working on purple, maybe I could tilt it some. I don't know. Can you see that okay? All right. And I'm going to pull it right out of the jar. I'm just going to put it on my squeegee. There is an angled side and a flat side. You choose which one you want. I'm going to use the angled. And I can always go back in here and grab more. And if I get too much, I can put it back in and reuse it. That's the great thing about our paste, is that it doesn't take a lot. And a little goes a long way. And you can put any extra that you have that you did not use. I say I'm going to be able to hold this. I think I'll just hold it. You can put it back in the container, as long as you haven't contaminated it with any water. We can use our paste for painting as well. You can water it down and use it as like a paste, a chalk paint. But if you do, you use distilled water, so that if you go to put it back, the extra back in your jar, that it doesn't have any contamination. But do you see what I'm doing, guys? I'm just taking my wonderful, beautiful shimmer silver. Oh, you know what? I just had an idea. Sorry. Sorry, my mind started going. When I see color, it just starts going. We're just taking our wonderful shimmer silver, and I'm pressing it onto the area. I'm not worried that I'm getting it on the transfer on the outside too. I don't worry about that. But I'm trying to get it into the silkscreen area. It's going to wash right off of the other, so I'm not worried. All of it. It'll wash off all of it, because I want to keep my silkscreen clean so I can reuse it. Because I will be reusing this a lot. I just know I will. But I'm just pushing that in, but I just had an idea while I was doing this one, guys. I think with the purple, I'm going to use copper. I think the copper will look awesome. So then I have shimmer everywhere on my pumpkins, on my truck, both sides of my truck. Yeah, I think so. I'll use copper as the base because I was thinking about an old rusty truck, and they usually kind of look brownish, right? So copper would be good. I have a gold, but I think copper will look awesome with it. And you see, I'm just kind of making sure I've covered it all, pushing it in there, and you know, you just kind of, okay, I gotta set it down, I think. Let's see if you can see it. Can you see? Can you see? I want you so badly to be able to see because it doesn't do any good if you can't. Okay. I'm not digging this angle for the, I think it's fine for some of the Facebook videos, but I really think for demoing, I think maybe my vertical option's better. Then you see a lot more of it. I can have more of the desk to work with. Right now I feel like I've got it all the way at the edge because of my setup. And with the paste, with the chalk, wet chalk, I go both directions, guys. I just make sure that I've got it all filled in, just to be sure I've got it all filled in. And then the other trick is when you go to pull off, see, I see a lot of extra. The shimmer is a little thinner than our regular paste, so it does go on a little thinner, so you might feel like you need to add a little more, but like I said, I feel like I've got a lot of extra on the edges. And I'm a frugal girl, so I'll set that aside. I'll probably use that again. I'm just gonna have to wipe it off with a baby wipe. Again, our squeegee's clean with a baby wipe or wet paper towel as well. Take it to your sink. You don't need soap and water. You don't need hot water. You don't need anything abrasive. But I just made sure I had all the area covered. See, it's all covered. And then we're gonna do our peel and reveal. Now remember, when you go to peel it back, you're going to peel it slowly so that if I'm pulling it off and I notice, oh man, somehow I missed that big whole area, or there's one little place there that I missed, that it should have come out a little bit better, then I can lay it right back down, take my squeegee, and go back over it again, okay? That's all you do. So I think I covered it pretty good. Oh, you guys, it's so awesome. And remember, this is a farmhouse looking, this is like a distressed truck. So it's not supposed to be like exactly clean lines. It's supposed to look like it's an old truck. And I knew I would love it. Oh my gosh, you guys, look. Look, can you see? Isn't that fabulous? Look, we took a drab piece of white wood that was boring, and you kind of got the idea what it was, and then turned it into fabulous. And that's not even done. Now, could you stop here? Yeah, sure. You could do that whatever color you wanted, and you could stop right there, right? Stop right there. The only thing is, I was just thinking, if I do the copper, I got to make sure I do the tires in a different color. Yeah, I probably won't do that on camera. Oh man, I did just drop it. Okay, so my transfer, I'm setting it over here until I can take it to the sink. Okay. Oh, shoot. I did not mean to do that. That was a faux pas. I don't think I've ever done that before. I'm trying to hold it so carefully. Oh my gosh, though. Isn't it great? Okay, I messed it up some, and I can tell I messed it up some, but I'm going to just go with it, guys, because I don't want you guys to be hung up with me. I think I can live with it because it's supposed to be distressed anyway. I'm just going to let it go. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just take my little air dryer, and all it did was smudge a little bit. And I could fix it. If I wasn't on camera, I would fix it, but since I'm trying to get through the 3 different elements, I want to make sure you guys get to see it all. So I'm just going to take my handy dandy dryer, and I'm just going to speed it along. Now on its own, that was my fault for trying to hold it so gingerly. On its own, I am going to allow it, if I was just letting it dry on its own, like, you know, about 5 minutes or so. But since I'm trying to speed it along, I'm going to help it. So I'm going to do this drying this just a little bit, and then I'm going to set the truck aside, and we'll move on to the next element, which will give it even a little bit more time to dry. And then I'll add a little tiny thin layer of, what do you call it? Our wax, our surface wax on it, to cover up the paste area to make sure that it doesn't pull up my chalk paste when I go to put on the next little transfer that's going to make it blue. Okay? But on its own, it usually dries, air dries about 5 minutes, maybe more, maybe less, depending on what you're putting it on. I still can't believe I let it drop forward. But you know what? I bet anybody else that's going to see this isn't going to be able to tell, especially when it's done. So I'm the one who'll know, but I think I can live with it. You know, that's kind of the place you have to get to with crafting and with art. It's just do what you have in mind and be happy with how it turns out. It's really, the joy is in the process. To me, it's also the fact that you have this fantastic looking piece after you're done that you created, and it's exactly as you expected it to be. So I'm going to set this aside, and we'll go ahead and we'll move on to, I'll leave my little guy here. We'll move on to, how about we'll do the, get my copper out. I'm going to wipe my squeegee off, because I'll probably want to use that again. And that way I can. Or I could have just gotten another squeegee. I've got another one over here. But if you only have one, just use a wet paper towel or a baby wipe and clean it off so you can reuse it, okay? You don't have to have a gazillion of them. Okay, now the side that I did, let me see if I can find it now. That one, that's the side. Okay, so we're gonna do our autumn, welcome autumn, and then I think because, I'm trying to decide if I throw another color in. We're gonna have our blue, or whether I just keep with the orange, because the orange would coordinate with the pumpkins no matter what. So, so let's do that. Let's do that, and I think I'm going to do the shimmer. Now this papaya I will have to stir just because it was brand new and just got here today. But let's use our shimmer pumpkin. One of my other favorite colors. You guys know. It's so lovely. Isn't it beautiful? Okay. Let's use our shimmer pumpkin. We're going to use that on our pumpkins too anyway. So I am going to take my transfer, Welcome Autumn, and again, just peel it right off. My nails are a sight. I got to do something to them. I love French manicures, and they're awesome when they're good. But once they start going bad, whew, they look rough. Okay. I'm going to fuzz that, but before I fuzz that, guys, I'm going to take my transfer that I just used, and I'm going to set it down on my little mat that I have down here. I have a little dish drying mat, and I'm just going to spray it with a little bit of regular water because I'm going to wash it in the sink when I'm all done with my project, but I'll just keep it moist and keep it so that the paste doesn't stick into the silkscreen area. That's all I'm doing down there, guys. All right, let's get this autumn on here. You know, you could even do your little hot mess technique with it, like I showed you guys. On Saturday, you could do that with this little word, the words. I could put all these colors in here, but I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna keep it simple for once. All right, I think that's probably good enough. Let's scooch that over. Okay, so just line it up here. And again, if you don't like this white like this, if you don't want so much white, and if you don't want like the background of the truck, like what you don't see, white, paint it. You can even use our chalk paste with a baby wipe and stain it and make it a whole nother color. So don't feel like you have to just keep it white if you don't like that. You can do it black. You can do it whatever color goes with your decor. I could have made the background of this blue And then if I was not doing the purple too and not sure which side I was going to use, then I could just do this side blue. But I'm just going to keep it white. And then just make sure you have it lined up as best you can. Don't use your, I'm trying not to pay attention to the cut because I didn't cut it 100% straight. I'm just trying to pay attention to the words. And if it bothers you, get a ruler and do it right. If that really bothers you. Then let's just smooth it out. And then I'm just going to use my little mini squeegee. I'm just making sure there's no fuzz on it, guys. And it should be all, oh, see, there's a bump. There's a little bubble. That's why you want to go over it. It makes it better. Smooth out those bubbles. You know, you want your silkscreen area to be stuck good to the wood so that your chalk paste doesn't go up under it and distort your words. Again, it's a farmhouse kind of distressed kind of looking word, so it's not like it's going to be awful if it happens. And there are ways to fix it. That's what our detail tool is for, this handy dandy guy. But, you know, if you can avoid it, avoid it. So I'm just going to take my paste again, my wet chalk, my chalk paste. This is a shimmer pumpkin, and I'm just going to put it right on my letters. And you start whichever direction you want. With the chalk paste, you can go both directions, up and down, left and right. With the ink, when we do ink, we tell you to stay one direction. And I'm not worried that I'm getting it everywhere. I definitely want to get it in my silkscreen area, but I don't worry that I'm not staying only in that area because the rest is just going to wash off. And it doesn't take a lot. I know it seems like I'm dabbing a lot, but I'm really not. I don't have that much on there to begin with. And I'm just pushing it kind of into, not hard, but pushing it into the silkscreen area and then pulling it across. Okay? And then I'm just going to make sure that I've covered all my silkscreen area. Now I tend to go up and down as well, just to make sure. Can you see okay, guys? Just to make sure I covered everything. And then one last swoop to get any extra off and put that, see, right back in my, and I'll probably leave that squeegee over there since I'm going to probably use that one again for the little top part of the pumpkins, the detail part. And then it's all ready to go. We're going to peel and reveal. And again, just take it off slowly. Make sure you got all your, looks great. Make sure you got all of your words covered, which I'm pretty confident I did. And voila! Isn't it awesome? You guys, I mean, is there anything more rewarding or satisfying? Sorry, I'm trying to get my transfer over here to wet it. Is there anything more rewarding or satisfying than that? Pulling it off, not having to spend hours sitting there working on picking at stickers or putting stickers down. Oh my gosh, have you ever taken a ruler and tried to place stickers down with them and try to get them lined up? Oh my gosh, that is the most frustrating thing. I used to do it with scrapbooking and it was so hard. Look at that, perfect. I'm not gonna have to do anything to that. I could dry it with the dryer, but I don't need to. By the time we're done with our project, it'll be dry. So I'm just gonna set it aside. I'm gonna set it over here. You may even be, no, you can't see it. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to our pumpkins. Our sweet little pumpkins. All right, so what I did was I went like that and I was like, okay, so that's the top and I've already buffed it. I buffed everything. So we're just gonna take our, and I've marked my transfer. Let me spray some water on my words. Pull that off, place my back receipt over there, and then I'm gonna look at it while I'm doing it, and then I'll turn it around while I'm pasting it. But I'm gonna look at it so I can line it up. So again, I can see right through my transfer to see where I need to line up. And like I can even see a little, I mean, obviously I can see through the silkscreen area, but I can even see a little shadow. My eye today is a little, it's not as good as yesterday. My allergies have been pretty bad, even though I'm taking 2 different medications and a nose spray. Yesterday was better. Today it's not so much. I don't know what's going on. Oh, I got something on my finger. Some color on my finger. I didn't even notice. All right, I think I'll slide it over just a little bit. But yeah, so it just makes it blurry. I've got my contacts in, which is why I'm wearing my reading glasses. I can't see well up close. But the watering just makes it so that I can't. I feel like I'm just, even with I don't have contacts in, it was watering like crazy. I'm right at the edge over there on that guy, and I don't want to be. Oh, for a minute I was like, that is pumpkins, right? It's not watermelon. They look very, very similar. I think we're good there. See? Right? Okay. All right. So, okay, we're going to use the papaya. I am going to stir it. This is brand new. Kind of lid. It's a different kind of little sealing thing on the inside than I've seen. Ooh, so creamy. Look at it. If I had to describe it, I would say it's like the consistency of like yogurt or frosting. And you want to try to, I really need to get some glue dots and glue my little lids to the top. But so obviously in shipping, can't remember. It usually comes by FedEx, but I can't remember if it did or if it was UPS that dropped it off today. I think it was probably FedEx. I didn't see them. They're not so good about, they just leave it anywhere on the porch, even if it's raining, out in the rain part. But I'm just going to stir it a little to get it down in the jar and just mix it. Doesn't need a lot. And then I'm just going to take my extra. This is just one of our little mini spatulas. You don't have to use this. You can use something else. Do not use a popsicle stick. Don't use anything wooden to stir your paste. But and I'll wash that in the sink. But that may even be enough. I'm not sure. It may be enough. If not, I'm going to take it off the lid. So this is just one of our small squeegees I cut in half so that I had even different size. So I have quite a variety of sizes. We have really big, we have bigger than what I showed you with the small. We have an angled one. We have even bigger than that. And then we have an even bigger one. So if you're doing a really big project. Okay, so I may already have enough paste on there. But don't use popsicle sticks or anything wooden. Just use, or craft sticks even. Use, oh, okay. I did not press that down all the way. I'm going to have to be careful. Make sure I'm pressing my squeegee now. That was coming right off over there, wasn't it? Look, I've already got, I can tell I have too much paste. The regular colors are very creamy and it takes so little. They go on so much easier. The sheer, like I said, the shimmer is a little more sheer, so, you know, you have to add a little more, but this really covers well. Just going both directions and then making sure I got all the extra off. Yes, let me finish my sentence. Sorry, guys. All done. All done with that. So that's kind of like a brownish orange. It's a little more muted orange. We have a couple different color oranges. We have this lovely guava color. It's kind of brighter. I've shown you some projects with that. We have this orange peel, so that would have been pretty as well, but I decided to do more of the muted for this project. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to keep both lids in there. I don't know. We'll just try to put it back on and see. I'll try to find out. But use you know, like a little small baby spoon or a knife. You can use a plastic, anything plastic to stir your paste. Just don't use something wooden, because you might get a piece of splinter in there. Ta-da! Isn't that adorable? Isn't it adorable? Okay, now I'm gonna try not to drop that one. I'm gonna set this down over here on my mat and spray it. Isn't it adorable? And like I said, the other side works good for the watermelons, right? So depending on which side of the truck color I decide to use, I can use either color I want. I can flip it back and forth. This is still going to sit on the truck bed no matter what. So I am going to let that air dry. I'm going to dry it just a tiny bit, and then I'm going to let it air dry before I put on the little accents and put on a little layer of surface wax on it. And then our truck should be dry enough for me to do our next layer, and we'll get our teal on. And also, guys, if you're watching this, I know a lot of people can't watch it live, it's during the day. If you're watching this in the evening and it's a replay, could you just put hashtag replay for me? Just lets me know, and I'd love to know where you're watching me from or what you think of the project. What's your favorite color that we're gonna do? Isn't this gonna look adorable for Christmas too? I may use that teal truck for Christmas too. I haven't decided really my Christmas theme or colors yet. Although I had to run in the Dollar General to drop my buddy off at preschool. And I had to run in there to get a birthday card for someone and a couple other items, toiletry items. And they were putting Christmas out there too. I know Hobby Lobby's had it out for a long time. Our favorite hobby store. I don't know about the other one. I think the other one I did show when I went in there. A few weeks back, I did show that they were putting up Christmas as well. So it's starting. Okay, so yes, it's dry. It's dry. Even my mistake is dry. Okay, so where is my fuzzing cloth? I'm going to add a little bit of surface wax to it. Over top of the paste, just to make sure it doesn't pull it off. Now, these trucks are a one-time use. They're not, oh, wipe it all off and you can redo it in another color or whatever you want, because it's wood. So you can't do that. But if you decided later on you didn't like any of the colors on either side, you obviously have two options of sides to do two different colors. But if you decided later that you wanted a different color or didn't like it for whatever reason, what you could do is sand it off. You can just get a little hand sander. I have a little, you know, just one of those little sanding blocks. Or you could get a real sander if you have a real sander. Sand it down, or you could sand it down and paint over top of it. So just adding a little wax to it so that my transfer doesn't pull that paste off. All right, let's go with the next one. Did I spray that? I don't think I did. I can't remember. Okay. And you guys see my fuzzing cloth. We do have this available in my online store as well, but if you don't have that, it's okay. You can still do your projects. You can just use some kind of terry towel, some kind of dish towel or hand towel, or even a washcloth. And I think I must have a color on me because I got it on there. Your shirt, whatever you have. Let's get some fuzz on there. Again, about 3 to 5 times. This shouldn't be too bad because I've already, actually, you know what? I need to buff that a little bit more. I see a chunk of wax on there. this placed. Give me just a minute. My eye is watering up. I don't want to touch it. So it usually makes it worse. So all I'm doing is, there are little marks here that help you, but that's really not helping me in this situation because I'm doing it on the truck cutout. If I was doing it on another area, it would help me. But I'm just making sure that the tires, that I have the inside of the tires lined up so that I can see the white part, because that's my main part I want to make sure of. And I'm just smoothing it out because I can see a couple wrinkles. I'm going to go over that with my squeegee to make sure it's adhering. Sometimes if you put too much wax on there, it gets a little too slippery. I might have to buff it out again. We'll see. Let's see. So that's why you just do a light layer of wax. Just want to make sure it's down there. Okay, now it's time for our beautiful teal. And I'm going to just use, I guess I'll just use the big one again. Again, nice and creamy and dreamy. And I've used it recently, so probably too much right there. Okay, so here we go. So I'm just make sure you don't go off the edge of your transfer, but you're just filling in your blank spots, the spots you can see through, the silk screen areas. Just don't get overzealous and go off your transfer, because then you will get it on the other parts of your wood. And you could probably get it off right quick if you do it, or once it's dried all the way, you can scrape it off probably. That's the other thing, you could probably scrape off your image if you didn't like it. What do you guys think so far? Look easy enough? Even though it's a couple layer one. It's not hard. It's not intimidating. And I think even the fact that it's kind of distressed already makes it even more forgiving, you know? Don't you need a farmhouse truck in your life? For all the seasons. I think I've got it all covered. It looks like it. Okay. I know it's hard for you guys to tell on this one because it blends so much. Blends in. It's the same color. This is our signature color. This is Couture Teal. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Ta-da! Look at that beauty. Look at it. Oh my gosh, it's adorable. Guys, what do you think? What do you think? I'm going to try really hard not to drop it this time. What do you think? Let me get in the middle. Sorry. I keep forgetting where the lens is with it sideways. Isn't that awesome? Look at that. It's so cute. Okay, I'm going to set it aside carefully because I don't want to mess it up. And then we'll show it all together at the end. I'm going to let it sit over here and dry, and I'll check it and make sure. Okay. I'm going to dry this just a little time because I know I didn't have to go as long this time. Just a little bit more to make sure. It looks, I think it's dry. Just want to be sure. This little tool we have, it's just a little heating tool. It doesn't get really super hot. It's just warm enough that it helps speed up the drying process. That's why I like it. I have a heating tool I've had forever that I used to use for embossing, but I feel like it gets a little bit hotter than this. Obviously, it kind of needs to for the embossing. Now, I could do green. Gosh, guys, I told you before, this is the hardest part for me. Should I do green? No, I don't want to throw green in there. I could do green if you wanted to. You could do the pumpkins and orange and do like our pretty shimmer olive as the green. The little, see what we're doing? We're doing little like accents. I could do the green. I could have done that, but I'm not. Or I could do that green. If you were doing the really bright orange, you could do that green with it. That would be pretty. But I'm going to stick with the shimmer pumpkin. Okay. Let me get a little bit of wax, and I want to go a little tiny bit because I feel like I was a little too heavy-handed with the last one. So let me just get a little bit. So I want this to stick well. So I just wanted enough to not pull off my paste, kind of seal it. Which this project you don't need to seal. You could spray it and seal it, but you don't need to. All right, let's see if I can do this upside down, guys. So my goal now is I have these little white, these little spots that are accents, right? And they are supposed to, I might have to turn it around, I think. They're supposed to go like in the white space. So I have to kind of take my time a minute. If I can find one of them, one or two of them, I think the rest will fall in place. I think I might have put it on a little crooked when I first. There, that's better. I'm seeing more white now. Seeing more white now. That needs to come down though. I think I could have come down a little further with my first transfer, and that would have shown a little bit more of my stem on this one. I'm just going to push that down, smooth it out. It's all good. How many of you guys, when you go to the pumpkin patch, actually come home and have all the stems? That right there seems to be one of those feats that's hard to accomplish. Okay, remember I'm going to use my shimmer pumpkin again as my little accent. And I don't have a lot of area that I'm trying to cover. So it's just a couple little lines here and there. Just going to give them a little something extra. You could do it in brown, copper, green, whatever color you want. Because I'm trying to stay with the blue on this one, more than likely. I'm just sticking with the orange because I like the way blue and orange look together. Can you see it okay, guys? I'm still not sure how I feel about this sideways videoing. Let me know your thoughts. I really like to know, do you like it vertical like this or horizontal like this, or would you prefer it vertical when I'm doing the projects? Most of my other videos before the last couple days have always been vertical. So if you want to go back and look at one of those, it'll give you an indication of what I'm talking about, the difference, which one you think you can see better when I'm working. All done there. Didn't take much. Put the rest back in. Awesome. Okay, let's see what that one looks like. Just pulling it off. Ta-da! So it's very, very subtle. I'm not sure how much you guys can see it. Let's see if I can get some light on it so you can tell. But there's some shimmer. Again, you can do it any way you want. You don't have to do it light like I did. You could do it with the green or the copper or even the gold or even the harvest. Any of those other colors or a brown. I don't have a brown, but you could do a brown. I have copper. I don't have a brown. Whatever color you want, if you want something that stood out a little bit more. Mine, I just wanted to be able to see a little bit of shimmer when the light hits it, so that it's mainly orange is what you see. So I'm going to dry that a little. Let me spray my transfer. And again, I'm going to take those all to the sink and my squeegees to the sink when I'm done. And clean them with just cold water, cool water, cold water, whatever. Just make sure we're dry so we don't mess anything up. And you can see all this fabulousness. And then I'll make sure it's really all the way dry before I do the purple side. And like I said, I'll probably just do a video of that, guys, and then I'll put the video up so you can see it. Not sure what tomorrow's looking like, whether I'll come on and do a live tomorrow. Maybe I'll get lucky and be able to do one tomorrow too. I'd love to know your feedback also on if there's a time of day that's better for you guys to see lives, whether it's my eye watering. Whether it's, sorry guys, it's a challenge to get the water out without knocking my contact out. Whether or not you guys would like to have the lives in the afternoon, like I've been doing, and just catch a replay, or whether you would like to have them in the evening. I could try to do a better job of making sure they happen in the evening and get some other stuff done during the day. I'm here to inspire you to want to create and decorate and just bring some color into your world, whatever that looks like. And for sure, all around us is getting ready to explode with color. So why shouldn't we bring some of it into our home? Although I guess there are some states that people live in that don't get the color. I don't know if I could do that. I love, you know, having summer and what have you, but I don't know if I could stand living somewhere where the seasons didn't change at all. It would be a little hard. I'd have to visit somewhere at least. Okay, so let's do this. I'm gonna pull this back too, guys, to where you can see it good. Okay, so there's that, and now let me dry my little pumpkins just a little bit. That last layer. Are you loving it? What do you think of the blue with the orange? Does it look fallish to you? I love it. I really do think I might do the copper and the purple. And I'll just make sure the tires, I do them a little different color. What do you think? And I think the bottom will look great painted or the way it is. I love that the wood comes prepared already, that you don't have to do anything to it, but that you have the option you can if you wanted to. Are you ready? Don't die. Ta-da! Oh my gosh, isn't that adorable? Oh, I love it. Gosh, it doesn't take me much to get excited. Doesn't take much to excite me. How about that? Is that not precious? Yay. Look at our little pickup truck. Now, I will say, my daughter has wanted an old pickup truck forever. She's 22. Ever since she started thinking about having a vehicle, she's wanted an old pickup truck. And who knows, maybe one day she'll get one. But in the meantime, we're going to have to just enjoy it this way. We don't have a farm. We don't have anything to justify. I didn't realize it had gotten that late. I knew this would take a little bit of time, a little bit longer because of the project. But what do you think? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Thumbs up. Give me a heart if you love it. Hashtag replay if you're catching it later. Let me know what you think about the teal. I will put a video up. Check for that, for the purple, because I think that's going to be fabulous too. But I really appreciate you joining me. I hope you enjoyed this project, and I know I'm going to get a lot of joy out of this one. And just get those wheels turning, because you can do this for Christmas too. It's got the cutest little Christmas tree, and you know we'll be doing that. And then you can do it for Valentine's Day, because it's hard to find Valentine's Day. But look, there's the Christmas tree. There's the tree with the little accents, see? And it's a little bit different shape that I already went ahead and put up. I didn't even think about having it out. Comes like this. If you have any questions about any of the products that I use, just let me know. Isn't that cute? That's what your tree goes on, and your little hearts for your love. If you have any questions, just leave me a comment or shoot me a message. I'll be glad to answer you. Otherwise, I really appreciate you joining me for this today, and I appreciate your feedback and giving me some pointers as to which project I should do. I still have the pumpkins and the leaves sitting over here close by, so rest assured we will be doing that this week. Okay? Thank you, guys. Hit that heart button, sprinkle it out to your friends, and come back and join me next time, okay? You never know what we're going to get up to. Have a great rest of your day. See you next time.